we start to record. So we're actually recording this session live as well, to be provided also on the internet. But what we were doing for the last half hour is we were adding these mobile apps to your phone. This is the new internet revolution, is the mobile application for the real estate industry, where the information can be at your fingertips. And when we were at the Toronto Realtor Show, they were called Realtor Quest. It's the largest real estate show in the world. Our booth was one of the busiest at the whole show. We had people 2, 3, and 4 deep. I had people after their show said, Gary, we couldn't even get near your booth. The interest is tremendous because the information is coming from you. The information that's put on this service is from the realtors. And the information is exclusive, as well as their real estate board listings as well. And we're going to show you how that works. It's called Haves and Wants. So today's session, let's just start at the top. There's a lot of money being made in real estate using the internet, and a lot of brokers have not taken advantage of the internet. They know they want to, and they're struggling in many cases, and even the ones that are doing well always want to do even a little bit better. And we're going to be showing you a lot of tips and tricks and ideas that we too have learned from all the broker members, because we are like personal assistants to brokers and real estate salespeople worldwide. So we're learning from you the best tips and ideas and technology and concepts to make this stuff work to help you generate business, and then we share it right back with the industry and with yourselves and with the members on our service. And today we hope to demonstrate a good 5 things and even more that can help you make money using the internet. And when we say that, the only way you make money is by providing good service to your prospects and your clients. So that means there's a lot of successful prospects and clients that are taking advantage of the services of realtors. And when you do that, that's what they really appreciate. And we're going to be showing you how to provide some extra services that are going to help them. And this is all based on the internet, being on the internet for over 20 years. And when you have a chance, you really have to have a look at these testimonials that are going on. We have literally over 50 pages of testimonials of people that are doing deals on the internet. And I'm hearing about deals every single day. And again, you can go on to the internet to iciworld.mobi, and you can actually click on testimonials and see all these deals that are kind of going on in the business. And there's even testimonials that we took right at the Toronto Real Estate Board show that show all of that business there as well. Okay, let's get back here and continue on. So how to work exclusive information. A lot of people think that the only way that you can make money is on a real estate board. But that's not exactly correct. You can make money with your license, even if it's not a listing on a real estate board, from the information. And we call it exclusive listings, whether it's signed or not. We're going to show you today how you're going to protect yourself and follow the guidelines. In this case, we're in Ontario. So the people that are in the United States watching us that might see this later, from California to Florida, from San Francisco to New York. We've got New York members here, and this works in Vancouver, it works in Montreal, it works in Collingwood, it works in Mississauga. Everything we're talking about works every place in North America, because once you are on the internet, we're in another world where we're all connected together. And it's just wonderful and amazing. And if you use that term, I forget what it is, that everybody's connected through 6, the power of 6. Basically, everybody in the world is connected. So if your information is coming on here from other people, literally, we can make all real estate information, including the FSBOs and the exclusive listings of the world, all available to everyone. And literally, the real estate people are the most well-connected people to identify these things. And if you can bring them out here, and eventually, theoretically, if 100% of the listings and opportunities were placed on here, this is a one-stop shop. You can immediately connect with somebody, and you will not be missing doing deals and not realize it. And I make a statement over and over that a lot of people are missing doing deals, and you do not realize it. Because if somebody in this room has a buyer for something and you have a property coming for sale, the two of you do not know that. But if we can make that available, that information, your buying information and your selling information, and put it up here even before it's listed, the two of you can get together and go off and do a deal. So I'm saying right now, I see the power of these kinds of services on the internet to help you connect, to get together, but it's a case of you using it. You can have a car outside there, but if you don't hop in it and drive it away, you're not taking advantage of the services that are here. So exclusive information gives you opportunities to expand your opportunities to do business, because the average real estate salesperson, is there anybody in this room that has more than 5 listings on a real estate board of an MLS nature? 4, 3, 2, okay, a whole bunch of hands went up, and 1, okay, and 0, okay. This is common in North America, whether I'm in Florida, Orlando, and I've done seminars like this exactly the same way in Tampa, Florida, and all over North America. Getting listings is one of the things that we always try to do, because if you have a listing, you sort of control the market. But the average realtor has less than 5 listings on a real estate board, and to a certain extent, you're almost out of business. But I'm going to show how you, every single one of you, can have at least 15 opportunities to do business over the next 90 days. And if you plant those seeds of information on our service and even some others, that you're going to be able to trigger a lead and put an agreement in place first before you show that property. The key thing is you do not give addresses, and we're going to show you how that's handled very shortly. And also in the monthly webinars we do online, we explain the 3 special questions of how you handle information. We're going to, in doing this, when you have somebody that's thinking of selling and you start to work on it a little bit, if you show them a little activity, sooner or later, that listing, they might want to put it on the Toronto Real Estate Board or whatever board you're on in North America. And if you're the one that shows them a little bit of activity in the beginning, they're more likely to maybe eventually say, well, let's put it on MLS, and they're going to end up doing it with you. So by showing them some activity in the beginning, this is really kind of going to help. And so we're going to show you a method of searching exclusive listings on the market industry-wide today that are not on real estate boards as well. Real estate widgets. This is very exciting. We don't know anyone else that's doing this. This is a way to have the information on your website. How many people in this room have a website? Okay, how many people in this room do not have a website? Do not have. So, okay, we only have, the majority actually have websites. What we have here is a tool where you can have listings from ICI World on your website. It's a simple link. We send you an email, you forward the email to your website designer, and they put the link on there, and we're going to demonstrate the listings that can come up on your website. So that theoretically, if you ever became a member, you will never send people to ICI World. You only send people to your own website, and if they see one of these listings, haves or wants, they have to call you if you're a member. Question?
So it's only through being a member?
No, you can actually have it without being a member, but if you're not a member, people can click on the message numbers. But if you're a member, they can't click on the message numbers. So there's a little distinction there. So we're happy to provide these widgets for your website, and it's the same as other services. You have sources of listings. And I boil it down to networks. The more networks that you're connected into, and that's really what it is. There's no one major network that has every single property. There isn't one. There's either you use all these wonderful website companies, and there's over 20 of them out there that are serving this particular marketplace. There's your MLS, that's a major world network. ICI World is a major world network. So all these networks, it's nice to be plugged into them all on your website so that you have the very most opportunities for your customers to find properties, because if you miss a network or two, you're actually missing opportunities on behalf of your buyers and sellers, and you're not even aware of it. So having those networks available on your website, we suggest, is very important. And some people ask me, what happens, if I had got one website, do I have to let that one go? You can have more than one website. Websites are like billboards. And if you have one billboard at Yonge and Dundas Street and another one on Ossington someplace or another one on Scarborough someplace, and if they're all generating leads for you, then why not? You can link your websites together. And if you can get websites for $16.50 a month average in some cases, and it's powerful, and it's got 3 major networks on it, by golly, that's really good. That's less than advertising, less than business cards. When you think about it, over the year, $199 per year is what you can get some of these websites for. And the thing is to evaluate them. And the nice thing about it is they work automatically on their own. They update themselves every single day. You can be off doing other things. It's like planting seeds. And you're going to hear me talk just like a farmer who plants seeds in his field, his 100 acres to grow things. And then it comes autumn and you take the crop off, but he's planting seeds at the same time that he's doing business. Well, if you have your listings, your opportunities, your exclusive opportunities, and your website working, at least you have all that stuff working on the internet. And the final thing is you need to learn how to promote your website, because you can have a website, and what good is that if you have no traffic? And so we help with that with a worldwide webinar every single month. It's free. It's online. Just go to iciworld.com, click on for members. You can register for it. The beautiful thing about it is when you register, if you cannot make it, and it's usually on a Friday at 11 a.m., if you cannot make it, you will receive a copy of it by email about 8 hours after the session. So in other words, you can receive a recorded version of that, how to promote your website. And that's free to the industry, and you can take that at any time you want. And the mobile website is the most amazing thing right now. I mean, these things used to cost $8,000 to $10,000, $30,000 ourselves. We spent over $8,000 on ours. And today, you can get these mobile websites for as little as $16.50. And let me see if I can pull one up here, and I might even try to show it. I don't know if I can show it. Yeah, we'll try to show it and see if I can bring it up here in a moment. Hang on one second here. Which phone do I have? I got the wrong phone. Hang on one second. That was a Note 3, and this is the Note 5. And I've got it all set up on my Note 5, so I had to switch phones here. And I'm going to go to a Royal Lepage, and I'm going to click on this one. And you tell me if this is a fantastic. This is what you should be promoting your website to every single one of your clients. You should get all your 100 to 300 sphere of influence of every one of your buyers and sellers and customers, family members. Get them to put your website on their phone the way we were helping you install iciworld.mobi on your phone here today. You should be doing that with your website so people can come through and kind of search on your website. And they can click on this, and then if they want to search, let's say, GTA Homes and Condos or Richmond Hill Homes and Condos, what happens, I'm going to click on this, on GTA Homes, and what you're going to see come up here in a moment, it's chugging away here, and I'm using LTE in this particular case. You'll see beautiful homes come up on the screen. I mean, this is gorgeous stuff. And if you click on one of these and go down just a little bit and click on one of these, look at that. Gorgeous photos coming up on the screen. Wouldn't you like your customers to see this stuff on your website? Thousands of beautiful homes with color photos. Isn't that nice?
That's just a regular website you're talking about.
How much is it?
No,
How much is it? $16.50. Isn't this incredible? Now, it's in the form of, from ICI World, the ones we do, but we support all websites in the world. Okay, just so that you know, we support all websites in the world. And there it is, and you can see how it looks like. Now I'm going to just see, I don't know if we can show this to people on the internet here. Hang on, I'm just going to go back to the phone. I'm not sure exactly where I'm lined up. You think I'm lined up just about right, maybe? Yeah. Let's just try it, and then I'm just going to go ahead and bring up one particular website, and that's what a mobile website can look like. And what's nice about it is that these pictures can all be changing. Any design that you want, you can choose. I'm going to choose, oopsie daisy, I wanted to choose this one for the one with the photos in it so people can see it. There they are, all the beautiful photos come up, and if I click on one of these, there it comes up. Actually, this is an investment. I wanted to show a home. Hang on one second here. Let's do this one here for $1.39 million. Click on that, and that's an empty home. Oh no, there's a few pictures there, and you can see how the photos come up nicely, and people can actually see all of these photos nicely on their phones from your website. They can search the MLS from your website. They can search ICI World from your website. So we suggest that getting to the top of the search engines is something that every one of you should set as a goal, to get to the top of the search engines, to get your website up there. But you've got to structure your website properly in the first place, and we're going to cover that today. And this is what everyone should put on their phones, on the Android, search ICI World, install it, and learn how to do searches. Play with it. It takes everyone about a week to kind of really get the good feel of it, but the customers love it. We're getting tremendous feedback from people all over the world, and they say they can just pick up their phone and search, and it's real easy. It's just a matter of a couple of buttons, and we'll show you some of that. In fact, I'll just maybe do a quick thing now. We did a little search today. Everybody should be able to find the listings, and let's say if I wanted to find Mississauga on, or let's say Markham, I'm just going to click on search commercial keyword. You can choose the city, whatever city it is, and then just go right up here to Markham and click on Markham, and then click on search database, and it's searching, and bingo, all the listings come up. If I was to click on the first one, the date that we're doing this particular seminar is, what are we, July the 13th. The 13th, and this one here, this one was July the 6th, so you can see the dates when they're coming in. You've got the listings. And the reason why that's important is because we have a little have one age thing here where we actually do not delete listings for 5 years. It's up to you to choose how far back you wish to search. If you only want to go back 1 month because you think nothing's good after 1 month in residential real estate, some people say that, but that's not necessarily true. The point is that you can choose how far back you wish to search. We have a lot of brokers that are making connections on properties from a long time ago, particularly in commercial real estate, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually sort them by price, so you can see. I know we're going fast. Don't worry if you don't know how to do this yet. You can actually play with it on your phone, and you can see these listings coming up, and there they all sorted by price. The buildings are still there, even if it's a 3-year-old listing. The people, as long as they're still alive, God willing, you can still make connections with the owners and buyers of those buildings. And is it possible that that building can be coming back for sale if it was sold 3 years ago? Yeah. Yeah. So in other words, there's opportunities to connect with people of a like-minded interest in a certain kind of property. This is really about networking. It's about you doing networking and identifying people who do the networking. And if you sold some property a long time ago and somebody sees it, they might want to call you to say, is that person interested in selling? That kind of thing. So you can do a lot of good networking from some of these older listings, but the people who only want to search the latest, you definitely can, and you should. This seminar has been going on now. We've been doing it, but it evolves. It changes. It's new. There's new technology happening all the time. The money that we're making, it seems like we got to develop new services right away to stay up. It's constantly new and changing, and I'm telling you, in another 2-3 months, there's going to be more things that are changing, and we have to keep pouring money into this development and of all these new tools to keep things going. But we're excited to do that because we know the sound basics of handling the information. We have a core database that serves the world. It's up to everyone in the world to kind of learn how to use it gradually, and maybe we'll make some major network connections someday so that we can have literally thousands of people coming on at one time, which would be just wonderful. Now, this particular seminar, one thing I do like to cover when we have enough time is go into each of the apps that you can have on your phone. So we do a lot of education in the industry, and one of them is just to help you with your phones. Evernote is a program that I use literally every day. It's the most used app on the internet, and everyone should actually get used to using it because it has a way of keeping track of all the things that you do daily. And if you have, I don't care if it's from a simple grocery list to ideas, creative ideas that you want to develop, plans for your business, all that kind of stuff, you can put them all right on your phone, and it comes up in a nice note form on all the things that you can be doing every day. It keeps track of things that you forget. I forget a lot of things, but not anymore. I've trained myself that if I think of something, I put it into Evernote right away and categorize it, and you can remember it. And so it's a way of keeping track of literally everything. If there's an article that you're reading on the internet, you can click on the Evernote button and it saves the article right into Evernote, so you have a complete collection of, it's almost like keeping your memory online when you think about it, of all different kinds of things. So I would definitely recommend everyone get evernote.com on your computer. I use this particular one here, KeyPass, to keep track of my 150 passwords for various things that I have. Without it, I couldn't even operate. It just would be very difficult. I have to rebuild them all, and it takes years to kind of put them all in one spot. Dropbox, if I dropped this computer that I'm handling right here, and I dropped it on the floor and it didn't work, you've got a computer there. I literally could log into Dropbox with someone else's computer, and I could be running this file that I'm running right now. All the files are backed up onto Dropbox, not the executable files, not the programs, because every computer you have to reinstall the programs. I'm talking about your information, your Word documents, your PDF files, your database, stuff like that, Excel files. All of those you should save, like pictures and things like that, everything. You can all be backed up to Dropbox. Nice thing about that too, if you put all your photos, you can take a picture here today and right on your phone, and it'll be uploaded immediately to Dropbox, and you can send that link to people. So if you went out with the family for the day, at the end of the day, you can send the link right to the family, so everybody's got the pictures right away. So Dropbox has a lot of wonderful features to it. Workspace, Macro Pro, that's another one that remembers keystrokes. So if you're sending out a lot of the same documents or the same response to people, you can program it so that you just go 2 buttons and bingo, it types everything in for you. So if you're responding methodically to people in Kijiji or whatever it is that you're doing, you can actually do that. Magic Jack, Skype, and WhatsApp. WhatsApp, I think, is incredible. Magic Jack and you and I know, and Skype, you can talk all over the world. But you know something, this morning, my wife happens to be in Portugal. All I do is I click on WhatsApp, and right away she comes right up. And if I want to dial her, I press the button, her picture comes right up on the screen, and oops, I'm calling her right now. So I'm going to just hang up. But we just talk like this, absolutely free, and it's instant. And if I just want to, and if I don't get her, I'll send her a little message. It sends one little tick when the message gets sent, another little tick if her phone received it, and the 2 ticks change a color when she's actually read it. WhatsApp. I was in the elevator yesterday. I asked people, is there anybody in this room that uses Snapchat? Anybody? Okay, we got a couple of people using Snap. Anybody use WhatsApp? Okay, everybody's using it already. You're really leaders in using this kind of stuff. So you know the benefits of some of these programs that we're talking about. Inman.com, it's specifically designed for licensed real estate people. You should go there. I'm going to suggest you consider subscribing to their service. It brings you up to date on a lot of the major issues that are happening in the industry today, particularly leaders in the industry and people that want to know what's happening in the industry. And there's a tremendous amount of help where they get feedback from other salespeople on what they're running into in their marketplace with the solutions on how to handle it. It's very well organized and professional. Inman.com. If you have a phone, make sure you find your iPhone all set up on your phone. So if you lose it, and I've lost mine once, and I really had no idea where I lost, absolutely none. It turned out that when I searched my phone, it was in the same building, and I couldn't figure that out. And I looked every place, searched upside down. I finally went to the superintendent, and before I walked in the room, when she saw me coming, she said, "Did you lose something?" Somebody had turned the phone into the superintendent, and sure enough, I had dropped it on my way up the stairs going in my building accidentally, and it found the iPhone. Just, it's amazing. Be careful, though. If you find your iPhone and you track it down, be careful approaching the person who took it. If they stole it, you can get into trouble. We've had situations reported on the internet that I have personally heard of where somebody tried to get their iPhone back and they ended up getting hurt because of it, because the other person hurt them. So you have to be careful. But in another case, a person called the police. They went to the apartment building where that person was. They went into the apartment, got in there, and the man had just thrown the phone out of the window, but he got caught because the person saw him. Somebody else was standing outside watching him throw it out the window. They actually found the phone the person had stolen. They found the person, and they ended up getting charged. Find the iPhone. And the same thing is with the Android. You can actually, there's things for that too. Snipping tools in Windows, Snagit, wonderful program. You can literally take any photo, we'll make it and put it into your documents, things like that. Other kind of realtor apps, realtor.ca. Does everyone have this on their phone? How many have it on their phone? Realtor.ca. You can be sitting with your customer outside a home And I can be doing it now, even though I'm from outside this area. I can be sitting in my car and I can press on a button, the home's near me, and it'll show me the home across the street, down the road, on the other side of me, the price. I literally can call up the agent and maybe make an appointment right then and there with my customers and go show the home. Where it can come in handy is ruling out homes. If somebody's looking for a home 400,000 to 500,000, but there's a home that's 600,000 over their budget, you can rule that home out right away by bringing it right up on your screen with your phone. That's technology. That is service, because the bottom line is we're really not selling homes when you think about it. We're really selling service. So if you can have these kinds of things working for you, such as these Realtor.ca, it's a fabulous app for you to have on your phone and to have it working for you. There's a whole bunch of other ones there. I'm just going to leave them there. You can, this is being recorded, so if you ever need to see it again, you can take a snapshot with your phone of the monitor that you're reading now in Facebook or wherever you're seeing this particular video, and take a snapshot, and you can go review all of these little programs at another time. We could literally spend a half an hour on every one of these. My job today, I kind of feel, is just give you an overview to get you excited. There's just nice tools here that people are using to help you organize and make your business life efficient and successful. Let's move on. There's some of the top CCIM commercial apps. ICI World started as a commercial service over 20 years ago, and it was only really the last few years that we really started to move into residential when we learned how to separate the residential from the commercial. Everybody likes to have their own residential listings, and the commercial guys want their own commercial. But a good portion of them also like to do both, so they were happy to see that we're doing both at this time. And so the commercial apps, and there you'll see, and Dropbox is a big one that a lot of CCIMs have right there. There's a financial calculator which helps you analyze the before and after tax consequences of investing in any income producing real estate. And if you have a pencil and paper right now, I'm going to recommend that you mark down, you take the course called Foundations and another one called CI 101. Those are the two courses for people that want to move into commercial real estate, expand their opportunities to do business, and every single residential salesperson, in my opinion, should be taking these two courses. It's so easy for you to be doing some investment real estate in your market area if you could just give some value to that investor who's looking at properties. If you can help that investor analyze a duplex, a triplex, a 10-unit building, a 50-unit apartment building, a 100-unit building, these are the kind of tools that the CCIMs can help you with, right up to shopping centers, office buildings, and we've had $75 million office buildings sold through ICI World, and it starts from analyzing real estate before and after tax, and the CCIM education programs can help each and every one of you kind of do that. And it's called CI 101. If you want to know where the courses are right now, we actually have them online, and I'm going to try to see if I can pop them on. There's one of them there. How do you get to see these courses? You can go to ccim.com, but you can also do one other thing. Because we like to keep everybody plugged into this stuff, you can actually go to iciworld.com and click on events. And when you click on events, you're going to see some events that are coming up in July here. Once this comes up, and there it is there. I'm going to click on events blog, and I'm going to click on upcoming events. And so in other words, you can click on events at iciworld.com, go down the page, and you'll see some upcoming events. And you'll see that there they are, CCIM courses for 2016. I'm going to click on that. And there they are. And Foundations for Success, I'm going to click on that. And let's see if it brings it right up with a little bit of luck here. There it is. And you can register for it. It's going to tell you what it's all about. And so you're going to be able to analyze real estate. You're going to understand a money tree. There's going to be ways that you can analyze real estate and analyze different. And you know something, if you take these two courses, any investor will want to work with you because they know that you're going to understand how they make money. Where did 90% of the millionaires in the world make their money? In real estate. So every one of you has stories, I'm sure, of how you have helped sell real estate, and have all the people that you've sold real estate to, have they all made money in this Toronto market? Is there anybody here that did not make money, their customers make money in real estate? Anyone?
In the late 80s.
There you go. Everyone makes money in real estate when they're investing in real estate. Some a little longer than others. The worst stories I've heard is somebody had to wait 6 years in some other market where it wasn't moving. They had to wait 6 to 8 years before they sold their property and make money. That's the worst thing that kind of happens. But at least you have secure investment. And that's why there's a lot of money being invested in Canada. And if you can work with the auto investor, you can sell 1, 2, 3 properties a year for the next 5 years, 15 properties to one person. And if you sell a family a home, how often does a family buy and sell a home? How many? How many? Every 5 years, 3 to 5 to 7 years. So one home to a family person, one every 3 to 5 or 7 years. But if you can offer a little bit of investment counseling to someone by taking some of these courses, you can be selling to an investor 1, 2, 3 properties a year to the same one, and they will find a property, call you in and say, listen, I want to analyze this one. Can you put it through your program and analyze it for me? What do you think? And they won't even buy a property without you. Additional to that, some of our members take some of our landlord-tenant courses that we're working with people like Kathy Pallarota and Chris CP and some of these other people in the business putting on these courses to help people manage their properties, because that's a key to making money in real estate is the management of it. And if you can help people with some of this thing, we're providing good services and more people are going to want to buy their properties through you. And it starts by education. And so we're going to invite all of you out. There's the CI1 financial analysis for commercial real estate by inviting you out to the meetings at the Toronto Real Estate Board. The CCIMs, we meet there on a regular basis every 1, 2, 3, 4 months, depending on what it is that's coming up. And it's made up of about 65 to 70% brokers. The other ones are mortgage brokers and bankers and developers and buyers and sellers, etc. And we meet there, and it's all about networking and education and good speakers and technology and learning all these things. And the membership's only $129 a year. I happen to be the membership chairman for the CCIM Central Canada CCIM chapter. We meet at the Toronto Real Estate Board, and you're all invited to come out to some of these meetings and then start to plug into this stuff. And that's how I got started as a residential broker, selling new homes for basically almost 20 years, and then I got into commercial real estate for the next 20. And so I've actually been a broker for over 40 years in the business as well. But I'd like you now to consider me as a personal information assistant to each and every one of you. We're specializing in doing this, helping the real estate industry. Someday we're writing a book about it, and you'll learn about how it all came about. Let's move on. So you can see that we got a lot of stuff to kind of cover today, and we're going to start moving along even quicker than what we've been doing here. Here we go. Saving keystrokes the rest of your life. Well, I'm going to show you one way that's so darn easy to save your keystrokes. You're going to see that I have all of these buttons up here. I'm actually going to close this screen completely. And then I'm going to open up Internet Explorer again. And watch what I'm going to do. This is Royal Lepage. I made it last night, all of these websites to show you. Now watch what's going to happen instantly, people. Way up at the top of your screen, way up there, I'm going to click on Open Tabs, and look at this. You're seeing all of these tabs open up instantly way up at the top of your screen. I'm not typing each one in. This is automatic. It was set up by these links. This is called the bookmarks bar. Every one of you should have it. This is the prime real estate on your desktop. Get excited about it. If I can save you keystrokes for the rest of your life, wouldn't that be nice, where you just have to click on one button and go to where you want? Click on the Toronto Real Estate Board. Bingo, it comes right up. You don't have to type it in every single time. Just put it on your favorites bar. That's different from your favorites. Your favorites you visit maybe once a month or once a year or something like that. But your favorites bar should be the top 10 items that you visit on a regular basis. Put your website up there. Put Google up there. Put your real estate board up there. Put some of the services that you are provided. Put them up there. Put the weather up there. Maybe put CNN up there. Put the Toronto Star up there. Put the favorite things that you visit on a regular basis on your favorites bar. Don't worry how it's done. I know one thing about all of you. If you want to get things done, you will get things done by asking for help, because we do that in the business every day. And you know, this is one place to ask for help, but there's other in the office that can help you with this favorites bar. Every browser has it. That way, I've just opened up all of those various websites up at the top automatically, and I can click on them right now. Those are some of the members that are all Royal Lepage members that happen to be on our service right now. But let's just go in and see some of their websites. Why are we here? We're here to help you make money. So if you have a website, and I'm just going to start with starting with this home page right here. Let's see if we click on it. Okay, so we start with the home page. It's coming up. Okay, there's a nice, beautiful home page, your neighborhood realtor, and it's got all kinds of lovely pictures and everything on it. And then, you know, if somebody clicks on one of these pictures, a featured property, it comes up. Now you'll notice, and this is important, that this happens to be an MLS listing and it's got the address. Now I have a question for you. If someone sees the address on a listing on your website, do you think they're going to call you, or might they drive by the property first?
They might drive.
Okay, so a lot of people are saying they might drive. Whether they call you or not, there's going to be some people that are going to drive by the property first. And if they drive by the property first and they see the for sale sign on the property, who might they be calling? They call the listing agent. And if they call the listing agent and the agent does a deal, does that agent call you back and say thank you?
No.
Not likely, because he doesn't even know, does he? And yet you're spending money on this website to promote it, and that's what's happening in North America today. All brokers are spending a lot of money getting people to go to their website. Now, I'm not talking about your personal customers. Your personal customers will search every place and they'll call you up and say, I want to go see these 4 MLS numbers. Is that right? They'll call you up and tell you, I'd like to go see these tonight, these 4 MLS numbers. I'm not talking about those customers that you already have. I'm talking about getting new clients that will want to call you on various things. Now, we believe this is still important to do. I also have served on MLS committees as a broker, and this is absolutely essential. It's the best service in the whole world. I mean, long time ago, in order to sell properties, you used to have to take the information on a sheet of paper, go to the hardware store, and post it on the bulletin board in a hardware store. That's how they used to sell properties in Canada and the United States. Guess what? They're still doing that in other parts of the world. They're still doing it. And now they're getting into magazines. You know, the magazines are the ones that are selling the properties. They don't have networking services like we have here. So we have a very, very efficient market that's kind of going on here. And I know the service that we have, we think it can work all over the world for every country in the world. And that's one of our challenges, is to kind of grow the service. Now, I'm going to show you, I still suggest that you absolutely need this. Absolutely. I mean, properties are sold with multiple offers and everything, all because of the wonderfulness of MLS services. Now, let's go and take it a little step further. You're going to notice that he has a button here called Listings, and if I can click on it, let's just see. Okay, we're frozen up here, unfortunately. Hang on a second. Let's see if we can hit back button. Let's see if we can refresh it. And we're sort of, oh, it's kind of working up here. We're going to kind of give it a minute and see if it kind of works. Worst comes to worst, I'll open up another one here. Let's open up another one. Click on one of these. Okay, let's click on this one here. Here's an example of a website that we supply literally for free for 1 month and then $1.99 per year. If you divide the $1.99 by 12, that's where you get $16.50. And I'm going to click on residential, and I'm going to click on GTA homes and condos. And this is coming from this particular service, which is called Point 2. Now, Point 2 is a wonderful company. There it is there. They're out of Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, and they've helped create over, I don't know if it's 300,000 websites in North America for professionals like yourself. I'm not exactly sure of the number, to be quite honest, but they've created literally hundreds of thousands over the years. Now, one of the ICI World is an official distributor of these websites. We're an official educator. We are a first line of support. So if you ever got one of these from us, you're going to have 2 levels of support. It's the same price whether you get it from them or from us. Now, the beautiful thing, when people click on listings, up comes this information that you see on the screen. And then if somebody happens to be interested in one of these properties and they click on it, what's going to happen is your information is going to come on the screen right beside the picture, because other brokers have agreed to allow their listings to be on your website. And there's an example of what it looks like. And if people click through, they can see these photos coming up on their computers. You tell me if this isn't the ultimate in marketing on the internet. Oopsie daisy, let's cancel that, see what happens. Oh, that just popped out. I'm using Internet Explorer and everybody likes Google Chrome better. I should probably be using Google Chrome. Let me just see what happens if I flip right to Google Chrome right now and grab that particular address and go to Google Chrome and see if it works a little better right away without any problems. Here we go. I'm going to type it in. Let's see how quickly it comes up. It's coming up. It's still taking a little bit long, but it is coming up. And let's go back to residential. Let's go back to GTA homes and condos. And Google Chrome is working a little bit better here, I think, actually. Well, actually, it's still taking some time, so, but it is coming up on the screen. Let's see how we go here. This looks a little bit better. That looks a little bit better. Let's click on it again. And I have something special to show you. That's why I'm struggling through here, because I want to make sure that you can see what's going on here. So let's pretend you had one of these websites from ICI World and you had this information on your screen. Your picture goes here, your telephone numbers goes there. People can click on these, and if anybody is interested in this particular website, there's your telephone numbers right there on the screen. Isn't that neat? Isn't that absolutely beautiful? I call this the ultimate in marketing on the internet. Here's where it gets even better. Watch this. This website is mobilized. Hang on one moment here. I'm just going to minimize some of these other screens here. I'm going to move. This is the size of a mobile device. Maybe a little bit smaller, something like that. So people can be looking on their handheld device any place in the world. They can be any place in the world. So when you're talking to people, you should give them your website and tell them to go search your website. You've got color photos, you've got slideshow displays, you've got exclusive listings, you've got residential, you've got commercial, you've got it all. Now some residential people say, why should I have a commercial on my website? If somebody calls you on a $1 million apartment building, can you do a referral? You bet you can. If it's $1 million and 5% commission, that's $50,000 commission, $25,000 to the selling agent, $25,000 to the listing agent. You could make 25% of the $25,000 to the selling agent, which is $6,250 just for doing a referral if somebody called you off a commercial listing. So watch this. I've been showing you residential, how residential can work. But I want to show you now how commercial can also work for residential people. You give them a choice. You're on the internet. Is it possible somebody on the internet could be interested in commercial real estate even though you have a residential website? Is that possible? It is. And let's say that they want to search, we happen to be in Scarborough. So let's just go up here to Scarborough. See if Scarborough's coming up. Okay, Scarborough's got to be added to this particular list because it's not coming up. I'm just going to pick Toronto and area for now, and I'm going to go ahead and search. And up comes these listings in Toronto, and they're coming in every single day. This brings people back to your website. You should tell people you've got 50 to 150 new listings coming in every day. If you don't tell them that, they'll say, oh, I've been to your website. Yeah, but your website has got fresh listings coming in every single day. So you've got new product coming in every single day. So people should go back to your website every week and check for new listings. Now here's the big deal with the ICI World listings. If somebody happens to be interested in any one of these listings, let's just say, I don't know, just any one of these, this particular one here. If somebody is interested in that, with the special links from ICI World, they cannot click on it. They can't. Who do they have to call? You. They got to call you. So what's going to happen is they're going to call up and say, I'm interested in message number 341623. Can you help me? And you're going to say, yes, I can help you. I will have someone call you back. You get their name and number, and then you call the agent who's got that listing. and you say, I have a lead for you, is a 25% referral commission okay with you? You can make your own deal. This is not etched in stone, 25%. And then he says, sure. And then you put your regular Royal Lepage referral agreements in place. Whether it's Royal Lepage or another office, you all have referral agreements. You should have them in your briefcase. Fill it in, referring broker, receiving broker, property, and all that information, and do a referral right then and there. I've got some great news to give you. One broker we know happens to be a RE/MAX broker up in Peterborough. He's done 15 referrals. 75 minutes of his time, 5 minutes each. He's made $45,000 just doing referrals. Now, if you do not have this on your screen, you have no chance to trigger a lead. The only reason why brokers and salespeople do not do referrals is simply because you do not get the leads. If you got a lead, can you do a referral? You bet. So this is a way of triggering leads to do referrals. Now, why hasn't everybody got this yet? I'll tell you, it's a big challenge here on ICI World. Every one of you, the whole industry is suffering information overload. Every one of you are overwhelmed with information. Every one of you has got so much stuff to think about, it's just too much. And so they start tuning everything out. Anybody that's tried to sell something, next month, later, not now. Just leave me alone. I can't even handle what I've got. So that's what we're kind of up against. And yet we're trying to make the industry cheaper for everyone by sending out emails because they're free. But then people are blocking our emails. They just don't want to hear anything anymore. They're turning things off. That's making it more expensive. What you should be doing is the people that you think have some value, if you can't consider it now, make a filter in your email program. Organize your email so that you can have, this is from the Real Estate Marketing Magazine, this is from the Toronto Real Estate Board, and filter that email so it goes into those boxes all the time. Make one for ICI World so all that stuff just goes there. You don't have to look at it. And one day when you have a moment, you can open it up and then see what it's all about. You can connect with other people because we send out these listings by email as well.
Gary, if I could add something.
Yes, sir.
Again, as you said, in terms of information overload, I just want to introduce myself a little bit. I'm a realtor. I was living in the States, a realtor broker for 25 years. And one of the biggest challenges when social media and internet and all this came about, it's supposed to make your life easier. It's like supposed to be a 1, 2, 3 stop shop. And that's how I was introduced to Gary, because when I moved back to Canada, working through Royal Lepage, I was basically working with Vivian. And the challenge that I was seeing with a lot of agents, because I sat in a lot of those meetings, well, someone comes in and they'll introduce Facebook, or someone will come in and they'll introduce, you need to get a mobile device, and you need to get websites, and when it all started. The problem and the challenge is all these tools are powerful, but when you don't know how to use them, you're busy in the field trying to get leads, trying to do the business. These are the tools that are going to allow you to do that. However, and what Gary, and why I've been fascinated about what Gary's program that he put together here, and this is one of the reasons why I took a more of a personal interest, because the past couple of years, I've been working with a lot of the top so-called social media gurus in the industry, are doing marketing for other companies and everything. So all these tools as far as Facebook, social media, the very powerful thing right now is what's called a sales funnel. And a sales funnel, every one of you should have in here. And in order to put a sales funnel in place, it's combining a basically website. And if you don't have a website, use a mobile site, a mobile device, because everything is about you. You're the expert. You're the one that has to get your word out there. And to add to the service as well, there's also going to be a listing. The same way we're saying there's listings here in terms of property listings, as a web developer or as a web person on the market here too, you should have your name listed out there, just like you're in the yellow pages. Back in the old days, people used to scroll through the yellow pages and they would find top realtors, you know what I mean? That's where they would find them. Well, today everything's done online and it's done in the internet. So if you don't have a presence there, you're not being found. So, and I started something a few years ago called LLC. For those of you in the U.S., an LLC is a limited liability company that was formed so you can buy real estate properties. LLC, I applied it into this industry, and that's why I'm partnering up with Gary right now, because I believe it's all about, and especially in our industry here, it's leads, listings equals commissions. So now, Right here, if you look at this portal, there's a phenomenal amount of information here in terms of all these listings that are there. Like you said, just ready to be had, and people don't even know about these listings. So that's the listing side of it. Then you need to be able to generate leads. That's why you need the power of the mobile device or a website. And then in turn, when you combine those together, that's how you're going to basically generate a lot of the commissions. Now, Gary doesn't know this yet either, but that's the reason why I'm so excited about his portal here, that I was going to go ahead and introduce some of these. So now everything, and if you become a member, because I know he mentioned earlier, Gary's offering so much free value here. You still don't see it yet until you actually get on there and dabble in there. But there's so much free information here. It's incredible. When you add the fact that what's working today in the cutting edge technology with Facebook, social media and everything, that's what I'm basically going to be introducing, because I like so much what Gary's doing here. I want to introduce all those services into the site here. So when you come on as a member, you want to be able to come in here as a one-stop shop and be able to go, okay, if I need to get a website, it's right there for you. 1, 2, 3 step, you can have your website up and going. You can turn around and utilize the listings and the leads that are right here within the site. So the whole idea is right from this ICI world, you'd be able to do everything that you need to do, and very user-friendly.
Just to let you know, many of us are already a member of.
Absolutely, and this is why we're going to continue to. And then, well, this is where I was explaining, because I like so much of what he's doing. I can see there's so many moving parts. I want to be able to introduce more and more of these tools to the site. So now you're going to be able to have more accessibility. And just to give you an example, as I mentioned about a listing. For instance, with a listing, if you're a member, you should be able to have your domain name, if you will, your website or whatever, should be on all the listings, should be on Google, should be on Yahoo, should be on Yelp, should be on everything. So and that's the way you get ranking. So that's also called search engine optimization. And in order to get your exposure out there, now this will allow you to be able to do that as you become a member. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm sorry. No, that's exactly it. And this is why I'm saying it's exciting enough to the point of there's going to be so much more that's going to be added to the system, which is basically free. I mean, he's offering so much free value as it is right now, and there's going to be so much more. So as a member, you're going to automatically be on the listing category. You'll be in the search engine optimization automatically, to where, because Google right now, because things are changing so much in the technology world, Google keeps changing their algorithms. So if you're not listed, for instance, you're not being found anywhere. As a matter of fact, you're getting dropped off. And to the point when Gary was saying about mobile optimization, if your website right today is not mobilized, you're not even being found. You could have spent 2 years ago $3,000, $4,000. If you're not mobile optimized, you're not even being found right now anyways. See what I mean? So that's what a lot of things that this service is actually providing you as well as a member. It's actually bringing you up to date and keeping you up to date on cutting edge technology. I just wanted to share that.
You gotta admire this guy's enthusiasm, eh?
Because I really,
he has a genuine heart for wanting to help.
Right.
And he's really enthusiastic about it. So
because I struggled like a lot of you agents do, because that's what it is. You come and you learn and you say, hey, geez, I know I need to have a website, or I need to know Facebook. But the problem is you're only learning one part of it. That's not the end all be all. You need to package it all together so it's so user friendly, so you're on there, right? You'd be able to look at a listing, you want to be able to go on there and do it. You don't want to be able to, you're not the mechanic for this, so
at the same time now that we're talking about all those good things, I'm going to now, the internet actually has the good, the bad, and the ugly. So we're going to move a little bit to the ugly. And the ugly is the security on the internet. This is an educational, informative session today. Yes, it includes some tools and things from ICI World, and that's why we do these sessions absolutely free in real estate offices and for real estate boards and associations. If the association, for instance, does not want us to sell anything from ICI World, we actually have a presentation that we just mentioned in ICI World in passing, and we do a complete education session that does not include any selling. For that, we charge $2,000, and it contains much the same information that we're going through here today, absolutely free, in exchange for basically doing about an 8-minute commercial a little later on our service. And if that's okay with you, I'll do that little commercial a little later on. In the meantime, you should mark this down. There's a security spot on ICI World, which will teach you how to have better passwords than what you presently have. Right now, each of your computers, you may be able to be hacked into. Once you're hacked into, and if you don't have paid antivirus software, there could be people that are actually recording your keystrokes right now. Maybe the only reason you haven't lost any money is because they're going after bigger fish. They're going after the banks. They're going after big people. They're going after the targets of the world. And they're getting in, and they're getting all of these credit card numbers and stuff like that. And you've got to protect yourself by having paid antivirus software. Make sure, don't get the free ones because it's not keeping you 100% up to date. Now, in addition to that, there's a lot of scams going on where somebody comes up and says, listen, somebody just tried to break into your bank account, but if it's okay with you, reset your password, click here. What are you doing? How many people have clicked on it? Over $1 billion has been lost to people in North America who have clicked on it. There's a lot of God-fearing people that are just trusting everything in the world today. But you have to be careful. When you go to church or to the synagogue or to the place of worship or to the mosque, do you lock your car in the parking lot when you go there?
Yes.
Yeah. You got to still protect you and your family and everything that you have. And you got to protect the computer systems that you're on. So I suggest that you don't use any password that is a bank password other than for a bank password. Everything else, if somebody gets your password to Toronto Real Estate Board, which they can't because of the clicker, but if they got your password to anything else, are you going to lose money? Not really. But your bank, yes. So don't use the same bank password for all your other stuff, whatever you do, because they could easily get that and try it in your bank. Don't do that. And you're going to learn about the Nigerian scam where somebody says, I've got this box full of dollar bills and clean it with the ink and all that stuff. One doctor lost $300,000. A doctor. He's a smart man. He went to college and he still lost money. And there's all kinds of people that are losing money. And you're going to learn about it all on the security page at ICI World, which is a whole session that could take 3 hours. I just want to tell you about it. You all should go to the security page on ICI World and learn. And you can do that just by marking it down and doing it on your own time. Okay, let's move on. Now, Gary is now retired, Gary Clausen. I've still got the slide in here, but he's a wonderful man. And here's a gentleman who's been teaching Mississauga Real Estate Board courses and courses for years and years and years. And him and I really hit it off, and I really enjoyed my time with him, and I wish we could spend more time. But he's now retired because real estate, he was serving people all his life, and he's just done wonderful and retired. And he was working with us and doing these seminars that I'm doing here with you today. And this is an open invitation, by the way, to all in the industry who like the teaching opportunities. We have a 2-hour presentation such as you see the one going through. If anyone is ever interested who either sees this video in the future or here in this room, you feel that you could even stand up here and follow the guidelines and talk about this course, we would like to open it up to you. We have about several other people that are can do this course as well, and we'd like to do it all over North America. Myself, just a little history so you know where we're coming from and how I got to be here so that you can relate to the information here, because we're in the same business. You are what I call my business family. You're my business family. I have a personal family. This is our business family. This is you and me. We're all in this real estate business together. We suffer the pains and the agonies, the highs and the lows, and all the struggle that we have to go through. When you show a property, sounds good, and it doesn't go through, and you lose out, and you got to keep struggling, and then you have a deal, and it goes through, and you're hiring that guy. You feel really good, and you make money, and we all have to provide for our families, so we're all motivated, and we share all of this stuff together. And I myself have been a broker since 1974, in real estate in 72, and I've been doing this business for literally over 40 years. But I want everyone to consider me as a personal marketing and internet information assistant. I almost consider myself almost like a doctor of the internet to a certain extent, because we conduct our office just like a doctor's office every 30 minutes. So anybody that needs some time with us, I cannot afford to have 20 people calling into our people all at one time. Everything is by appointment. So if anybody wants assistance, it's by appointment. 30 minutes, and it's conducted in your office, in your home, wherever you are, any place in the world. Don't be restricted by geography, because we're all connected by the internet. No matter what country in the world you're in, everybody's got the internet. And then we connect our computer with your computer, and we help you one-on-one. And how are we able to do that with so many people? Because once we have that appointment with you, you're off and running. You can post your information on here. People call you. You go sell property. You remove it, mark it sold, go to the next one. And you just continue on doing that. You have little issues from time to time, you give us a call. So it actually runs very smoothly and automatically because once you're on the service, there's only two things you do. You add and search listings from time to time. That's it. That's it. And then you check your website once a month to make sure it's working properly. After that, that's all you do with ICI World. But you should be promoting your website every single day. And it starts with even how you hand out your business card. When you hand out your business card, you should be telling people what's on your website. You let them know that you've got color photos, slideshow displays, you've got new listings coming in, you've got residential, you've got exclusive, you've got commercial. You should tell them what's on your website. Let them know that your website will send them listings automatically that matches the description of what they're looking for. How many here are going to be doing an open house in the next couple of weeks? Anybody? Okay. On the open house, get excited. Get your iPad out there and have them subscribe to receive listings from your website. What price range are you looking from? 400,000 to 500,000, townhouse in such and such an area. You can program all these websites exactly that way. And they'll get excited. They can do it themselves or you can do it for them. Make sure they all have your website on their phone. When they leave that open house, they should have your website on their phone. So they can search the MLS, they can search exclusive, they can search all the other homes from the other networks that are on the websites that we set up for you. They can search all that stuff. And some people say, well, I know that the Toronto Real Estate Board sends out listings. Isn't that the same? Not exactly. The Real Estate Board cannot send out the exclusive listings that these websites contain. So if you want to really cover the market, you really have to have all of the exclusive listings as well as the MLS listings in the market today. And then that's a little more comprehensive and covers things. Now, why do I mention the CCIM? You should all mark this down, ccim.com. And you should go there and learn about two courses. One's called Foundation, one's called CI 101. And again, that's going to help you. Every person in real estate should take that, residential included, because just a little bit of assistance. You already know about everything to do with the sale of a home. It's just a little transition to start to open up your mind that you can be doing some investment real estate, especially if you're doing duplexes, triplexes, small apartment buildings. And if you take these first two courses there, the Foundations course and the CI 101, that's going to help you analyze before and after tax consequences of investing in real estate. Why do I link all these Facebooks and LinkedIn and Twitter? This is part of the promotion of your website. Because if you're able, when people are moving to a new area, and immigration is big in many, many countries in the world, and in Canada for alone, it's over 300,000 people a year coming into Canada, sometimes they're going to look up in LinkedIn because a lot of these people know how to do this stuff already. They know how to get on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is like your business card on the internet when you think about it. It's your credentials. It lets people know that you belong to the Canadian Real Estate Association, which has a code of ethics, codes of conduct. And that lets people know that when they deal with you, they should be expected to get treated properly, responsibly, and with integrity. And if you don't put that in your LinkedIn and your Facebook and things like that, you're actually missing out letting people know how competent you are, especially for new people, because they will check that out. So we're suggesting, and with your family, for instance, if you have Facebook and you have your family coming to your Facebook program, you should have your website on your Facebook. And they'll see that, oh my God, you've got exclusive information, but the other real estate guys, they don't happen to have exclusive information. I didn't know you had lists of buyers on your website. Wow, that's pretty neat. So those are the kind of things that these various social media can kind of help. It can actually help you promote your website. Let's move on. Those are some of the other instructors who have agreed to go ahead and teach our courses and from time to time when we need them, and they've been doing so successfully, some of them, and there's many more too, right from Florida right up to this area. Testimonials, you'll see them online if you go to that ICIWorld.mobi app and just click on testimonials. You'll see the testimonials coming in. Now, it's not just testimonials to say, tooting our horn. It's really about to see how the deals are being done. How deals are being done with exclusive information, not just real estate board listings that everybody thinks that's the only way you can do business. It's to open up your mind that commercial brokers have been doing it for years. But with the advent of the internet, all kinds of people now are trying to put their own properties for sale on the internet. But they do not have the networks that you have. Because when you put a property on ICI World, it instantly appears on 18,000 places. It instantly appears on 2,000 other brokers' websites, all of which are getting traffic. And that's the kind of thing that if you're plugged into the networks, it's not just posting it on the internet and being lost. It's actually posting it to real estate sites that are already getting traffic instantly. That's a major advantage, and you'll see some of that going on by reading some of these testimonials. Okay, let's move on here. Okay, why are we taking our time here, people? Well, you're very lucky. I think we're lucky to be in this real estate business because of all the industries that are on the internet. It is real estate that provides the highest return of investment of any industry on the internet, because one lead can actually make you thousands of dollars. And it's business in Ontario. In this particular case, we're in Ontario, but it's business in every province and every state in North America, and it's business around the world. And you can be posting information in your home countries. You can be posting it on ICI World, and if you get a lead, you do a referral to somebody over there to show the property. You can be doing properties all around the world. Profiles of the buyer, and one of the reasons I show this from the National Association of Realtors is for this figure here. If I was to ask this room right now, what percentage of all FSBOs are sold by realtors? Throw me out a figure, anybody.
77%.
I got 77%. Anybody else? Just throw me out a figure. How many of all the FSBOs you see out there, what percentage is being sold by licensed real estate brokers and salespeople?
90%.
I got 90%?
99.
99?
85%.
Okay. Now, here's a study that was actually done. What does this say? 9% were sold without an agent. What does that mean?
91%.
91% are sold with an agent. So every single FSBO that you see out there, they might think it's for sale by owner, but who eventually drives the car with the buyer in it and comes by, it's really one of you. You're the ones that really are selling all the FSBOs as well, as much as they like to think they're doing it. And the problem that FSBOs are having is they're trying to sell it, they're doing all the work, and then when the buyer comes back, he subtracts the amount he thinks he should be paying for commission. He subtracts that too. The customer's not even saving that when you think about it, because they subtract it, because the buyers are sharp too. But if you have a licensed real estate broker or salesperson, they're going to help you with all the 40 things that have to be done in every single sale that you have to get looked after. And if you miss one, you can have major problems on the sale of a property. And so there's a lot of security to have. It's almost like insurance. Buying a property without a realtor, that you can get into serious problems. There's problems with misrepresentation, innocent and fraudulent, both. And then you got to sue to get your money. And there's so much fraud and all kinds of things going on in the industry, and every one of you are trained to watch out for that kind of stuff to make sure that the sale goes smoothly. And so people that are thinking of property, they should just stop the nonsense and get in and sell their property properly through a licensed realtor and get everything kind of looked after in that sense. Okay, now just a quick thing on ICI World here. We have over 30,000 haves and wants, and 75% are exclusive, not on MLS, for both residential and commercial. It surprises a lot of people. Properties coming for sale, FSBOs, assignments, for instance. A lot of these things you cannot or do not put on real estate boards for various different reasons. We have two databases. The first database is database number 1, and that consists of properties posted by the members, and the public can read it, pick up the phone and call you. It's just like classified ads in a newspaper, and you can advertise all year long, unlimited ads for the membership that we have. But we also have a database number 2, and I'm going to show it to you right now. See if we can do this nicely here. Let me use Google Chrome here. And I'm going to do this here. When you click on search, you're going to see that you can search with commercial keywords, you can search with residential keywords, but I'm going to click on search database 2. And searching database 2 is our FSBO area where you can actually see all the listings that have been placed by the public. And if I just change this to 100, or I'll change it to 100 for now, I'll click on that. And you'll see that these listings are coming in from the public. There's over 15,000 of them right here. These are coming in from the public. And when you're a member, you will have access to these. You can go off and do a deal. We know of one $25 million portfolio that was sold right from these listings here. There's somebody who found a buyer who was looking for a 7-plex. He actually went to the Toronto Real Estate Board and found the property, but he got the buyer from here. So it works hand in hand with your local real estate board sometimes too, because you're going to try to find the best possible property out there. You can actually list properties here. One lady made $54,000 within 90 days of joining ICI World. She learned the 3 special questions, which I'm going to be covering in a minute, which is one of the highlights of the session today. She found somebody in here that had space for a church. That was it. It just said space for a church, $2.5 million. She called them up. She asked them 3 special questions, which I'm going to be sharing with you momentarily. You'll be able to take a picture with your camera. So if you have your phones handy, get it ready to take a picture. You're going to take a picture of 3 questions that can help you for the rest of your life. And I'm going to show you how she made money with these 3 questions, working exclusive information. So there's a lot of money to be made in this business. And that's some of the things that we do on ICI World, having a member database where you can search and post information worldwide. It's available 24 hours a day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This is amazing. And you have a chance to post your information there and have people call you direct. Now, let's move on from here. Okay, commercial and residential. The residential people do referrals on the commercial. The commercial guys do referrals on the residential. And I had one commercial guy, I said, well, what happens if somebody calls you on a $1 million home in Oakville? You can do a referral. He said, Jerry, are you kidding? I'm going to hop in the car and go show it myself. Are you kidding? You know, there's money to be made. So you'll have that option. But much like a doctor, if you go to a doctor and you have a problem with your ear, he's going to refer you to an ear, nose, and throat doctor. If you have a problem with your heart, you're going to go to a heart doctor. You are going to be referring people to whatever inquiries you get off your website. Now, we have over 60,000 emails, subscribers, over 40,000 monthly readership. The members have and wants are delivered up to 20,000 emails daily to subscribers. And believe me, there's a lot of work to kind of keep all this stuff kind of going. Although it's automatic, it has to be maintained. There's maintenance. There's all kind of issues that kind of come up from time to time. 2 million hits a month and from over 138 countries. We're actually advertising on real estate boards. You'll see our advertise up there on the Mississauga Real Estate Board. There's another advertisements on the Toronto Real Estate Board. In other words, we are like a salesperson for every single one of your listings. When we go to a trade show, whether it's at the Toronto Convention Center or up at the Congress Center and different places throughout the industry, trade expos and everything, and we're handing out thousands of brochures. And when we hand out these brochures, such as what we have, here's a sample here with our mobile, ICIWorld.mobi, that means when we hand that out, 2,000 of these brochures, and somebody goes there and sees one of your listings, they call you, you hop in a car and go sell it. It all happened because we were at a trade show doing this for you on your behalf. So we're doing these kinds of things in the industry on your behalf to help promote different things. And then you'll see us in all these various trade publications, and you'll see Commercial Exchange, and you'll see the ICI World ad there on the front. And we're on the front page of other ones too as well. I don't know where the other one went, but they're around here. We're on the front page, inside covers. We're just all over trying to get everything promoted so that they can go to the website, click on your listings if you post them. If you don't post them, they're not going to show. And one major thing we got to let you know right now, when you go to this website, when you go to ICIWorld.mobi, and if your listings are more than 90 days old, they are not showing up. You must keep your listings less than 90 days old. So when people do a search here and the listings come up on the page, these listings are all less than 90 days old. These are all fresh listings, active listings that are coming up right now. You got to make sure that there's a responsibility, not just everyone in the room, but on the part of the whole industry to keep your information up to date and to renew them every 30 to 60 days. It's just 2 clicks. Refresh your information and keep them up to date. And that way when people see it, it's going to be active information. For the ones that want to search back further to make a special contact for special kind of properties or areas, those listings are also there available for contact purposes as well.
So how you can keep it updated?
It's just you log in and you go to My Listings and click on Modify. That's it. It's 2 clicks. And that's how that's done. And it really should be done by you. It shouldn't be done by your assistant because there's little changes. And you might see that, oh, this is a little more, I'm going to change the wording on this ad, you know, and you can go in and just modify. But it's only 2 clicks to have to do them. And the nice thing about it is you can just do it at any time, 24 hours a day, and they update themselves. And they get sent out to the industry by email all over again. 20,000 emails for every single one of your listings. I mean, if you tried to do this yourself, you're going to be just trying to program it all. It's all being done for you, okay, for this kind of stuff. Let's move on. You'll see us on,
Gary,
yes, sir.
can you show us how this listing appears in other websites?
Yes, I'm
Like
coming
I
actually.
saw in yours is a plain language with the number.
Yep.
How it displayed on other websites.
Okay, so the question is,
And it
how are the listings displayed on other websites?
Right.
And it's so timely that you asked that because that was the next slide.
All right.
And you'll see we talk about them as widgets.
Yeah.
These are ICI World widgets, which are active links that go on your website. They display listing data, multiple and exclusive on property information on your website, and this is where we do the little demo right now. Okay, we're just going to close that down there. Now, we've actually showed this a little bit at the beginning, but here's a sample website. I'm just going to choose one of the first websites over here. Here's an example website. Now, on his particular page, he has a button here called Listings. And this is how it's being done on some other websites. Now, if I click on Commercial, let's click on Commercial, and let's see if they come up. You're going to see how this comes up on his website where people have a choice. And I'm going to let you pick the choice that you would like to see. Which one would you like to see? Ontario Commercial. Okay, let's click on that. And it's still going around and around bringing up this his website. You know what I'm going to do? I'm having a little issue.
Maybe because you have too many of those portals open up.
Yeah, let me just go up here and put it in Google Chrome and see if this works a little bit better. And, okay, here we go. And so we're going to bring up that same page that we just had in Internet Explorer, which wasn't working too good. And it's the same page now coming up in Google Chrome. So I'm suggesting Google Chrome is probably a little bit better for us here, working here today. But nevertheless, and I'm going to click on Ontario Commercial. So this is the page that people will see on, in other words, if this is your website, this is what they're going to see. Exactly. Now, what would you like to click on here? Do you want to search the latest listings in your city? We're going to do a couple of searches. What city would you like to click on here? Okay, on Toronto, let's go down to Toronto and let's do a search. And you can see it going around and around, and bingo, our service is popping up the information right quick. There it is. There's all kinds of information coming in Toronto. Now, normally people will want to search a specific kind of property, a specific area, those kind of things, and they might even want to sort them by price. In which case, but first they might even want to search a keyword, any kind of a keyword for any kind of business, restaurant, hotel, motel, gas station, anything. We have residential keywords and commercial keywords. Want to suggest one? Anybody?
Worship place?
Which one?
Worship?
Worship.
Worship place like a...
Place of worship?
Worship, yeah.
Okay, we don't have it here, but you know something, I'm going to add it. I'll add it. Okay? I think what we do have here at the moment is church.
Church, yeah. So
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to click on search, and there's all the places that come up. Whoopsie daisy, hang on one second. You tell me if that isn't fantastic. Just like that. And I would say up to 90% of these are not on real estate boards. Interesting, eh? So that's how information can be shared in an industry worldwide to the public so that they end up giving you a call on your information. So what you have in your brain right now, this is how this service started. It started out of a book that I read back in 1990s, similar to the one by Bill Gates called At the Speed of Thought. In other words, if you think something in your mind in real estate, which could be I know of a space that would be good for a church. That's just a thought. When you're going to list a property, it's just a thought in your brain before you list it. Somebody says, come on over to my house. I'd like to list my house. That's just a thought. Well, if you can say, they say, well, don't come for about another 2 weeks. I want to clean it up. That's called coming for sale. Does anybody in this room have a listing that's coming for sale in the next 1, 2, or 3 or 4 months? Anybody? Almost every hand. You could be posting that on ICI World as coming for sale.
But if the document is not signed, can you put it?
Yes, and there's a way to do it. I'm coming right to that. But I want to show the answer to this question first of how the information is displayed, and then we're going to show you how to handle exclusive information that is not signed. And there's a specific way to do it and not to do it. If you do it, if you don't do it right, you'll get yourself into trouble.
Keep in mind in terms of technology, the reason why this is so powerful is because take Google, for instance. Google is a search engine, largest search engine in the world, right? When, any type of word you put in there, that's what's going to pop up, you see? So this acts the same way in terms of, when it comes to
specializing in real estate.
You're specializing, and then that way there, when people are wanting, they want instant gratification. Technology today, it's that when you mentioned Bill Gates and everything, that's what it's all about. People today want instant gratification. They don't want to be able to mess around and go look here, look there. If they want something, they want to just be able to do exactly what you did there. Go on site, type a word in, and find what you need.
We have one question here and one there.
Yeah, I have a subsequent question to my first question.
Yes, sir.
That would it only be displayed on members' website? Like you mentioned, it goes to 20,000 website, for example. So would it go only for a ICI World members' website, or it goes to anybody who is not a member, for example, any other brokerage, any other individual, or any other company with their
in other words, can this particular page be on someone else's website that's not a member?
No.
Yes.
The answer is yes.
Oh, it is.
Okay, but when people click on, let's say, apartment buildings right here, you're going to see a list of apartment buildings come on the screen. Now, in this particular case, would you like to have over 300 apartment buildings on your website? Would you like that?
No.
Yeah.
You're joking, right? Yeah, okay. I just wanted to make sure. Because sometimes you never know. I've had some serious people that said no, and then they didn't understand what we were asking. If somebody sees this on your website and somebody is interested in one of these listings, as a member, they cannot click on it. That means you get the call.
Yeah.
We have some members who have expired who have this on their website, but it switches to the link that allows people to click on it. So if you're a member and you have a listing on here and it's on one of these past members' websites that hasn't rejoined for one reason, the customer who clicks on that can actually get your information and call you directly. Is that an advantage to members, yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, it's possible that the customer who is one of the customers of one of these other brokers, they might call that other broker and still call you, and you'll still do a deal. And either way, you're going to end up doing a deal. One way could be with the other broker, but then there's also a likelihood they could call you directly. So the answer is yes. Okay, let's move on. And that means more exposure in the marketplace. The more places, if you post an ad on ICI World and it's on 2,000 other brokers' websites, can you imagine if it's on 40,000 other brokers' websites, your information? Instantly, people can be calling you and doing business with you. And that's why it's so powerful. Yes, question?
Yes, so how do I get this to my personal website?
We're coming to that. I'm coming to that.
Once you become a member, and then you actually attach the widget. So that was the benefits I think he was trying to answer his question.
Okay. Let's move on. So that's one way that the commercial, and then we have residential and commercial information displayed in that very same way. Let's move on. Now we're going to talk about how to handle this exclusive information. And what is exclusive information? If someone says to you, if somebody says to you that I do not want to give you a listing, but I will pay you a commission, what can you do with that information? In other words, somebody says, I'd like to sell my property, but I don't want to give you a listing. How many people in this room has ever had somebody say that to them?
Always.
Everybody. Is that correct?
Always.
Always. Get excited. Get excited. I'm about to show you what to do with that. It's valuable information that up until today, you have not been able to do anything with. After today, you're going to be able to make it work for you. I call it planting seeds. So there's inventory, and sometimes it's just too expensive to advertise this exclusive information, and there's no control. There's no control, is there? When you think about it, this piece of information, you tell somebody else, they can end up going direct. You can read the testimonials of how we've been doing it, and I'm going to be showing you now how to do it. You can get your cameras ready, and if you want to walk up to the front of the room, you're going to see 3 questions coming up in a minute. And I'm going to be showing you how to follow licensing guidelines in states and provinces throughout the United States and Canada. Like I said, this service started out of a book I read by Bill Gates called At the Speed of Thought. We're taking thoughts in the real estate business that's never been done before and doing it in a major sophisticated major world network on the internet. And there's basically no one else doing this. There's various forms of maybe exclusive listings in private area, but the public doesn't see it. There's not lists of buyers. There's all kinds of other things going on, but not quite like what's going on here. These are the kinds of opportunities you can have. If you talk to a builder, has a builder ever said to anybody, bring me in a buyer for my property, I'll pay you a commission? Does anybody ever deal with builders here? Okay, so you get that kind of stuff. You can ask them what I'm about to show you, and you can be posting new construction in that area on his behalf on here. There's a way to do it. Expired listings coming for sale. Restaurant owners, they don't want their restaurant on the internet, on MLS. It could be bad for business, couldn't it? You know, so there's a lot of businesses that don't want that. A lot of people with homes from $1 to $20 million, they don't want pictures of their Van Goghs and beautiful paintings, art, and everything in their properties being plastered all over the internet. Some people don't want that. So there's a way to handle, and there's reasons to handle exclusive information. There it is, people. You can get your cameras out, and I'm going to go through and talk about this for the next 5 minutes. This is the most essential part, the meat of what I call of today's seminar, and the reason why some people that have gotten this far are going to benefit. Other ones that haven't gotten this far, well, someday they may learn anyway some other way. These are the 3 questions. When somebody says to you, I would like to sell my property, but I don't want to give you a listing, but I will pay you a commission, you ask them 3 questions. And you're going to notice that there's 2 parts to each question. And we put the 2 parts, one in black and one in red, because we've had members that have been on ICI World who have not made money. And why didn't they make money? I ask everyone here to know our pledge. Our pledge is that every single person on this network either does a deal every 3 months, you heard me, or at the very least develops good business relationships that you feel will lead to doing deals. But I'm going to say there's a minimum level of quality that you have to do. And the minimum level of quality is you should have at least 15 opportunities working for you. And so you ask the person here, the person that said, I don't want to give you a listing, will you pay me a commission if I bring you a buyer? Does anybody have a problem with that question? No one does. No one ever does, by the way. The key is if I bring a buyer. Now, the people that haven't made money, what they did is they went up to a FSBO and they say, will you pay me a commission? And the FSBO is going to say, no, I don't want to sell my property through real estate. I want to try to sell it myself. They were asking the wrong question. So we started to put it in red this year to make sure that when the people use it, they're using it properly. Second question. Will you give me a 48-hour exclusive listing to show the property once I have a buyer? So some people were saying, can I have a 48-hour exclusive listing right now? That's not the proper question. If I have a buyer, when I have a buyer, that's a big difference. So how you ask these questions, it's a big difference. Some people haven't made money on RCI World because they didn't ask these questions properly. That's why I'm emphasizing it now. I'm here to help you make money. If you do this stuff here, we got all kinds, I got 50 pages of testimonials, brokers that are doing deals doing it. Lake Tahoe, anybody ever hear of Lake Tahoe? Lake Tahoe, you can go skiing in one day, and on the same day, go down to the bottom, hop in a boat, go swimming and water skiing. Beautiful. A lot of movie stars, a lot of well-to-do people live in Lake Tahoe. This is one way that they're marketing properties up there. They don't want to put their properties, multi-million-dollar properties, on a real estate board. They don't want to do it in a lot of cases. They want to do it exclusively. Find me a buyer, I'll pay you a commission. And the third question is the key here. And people ask me, how can I do it without having a signed listing? And the way is, the third question, may I advertise your property, but I'm going to do it without disclosing the address. And the reason you're doing this is because of this. Every licensing body has a guideline about advertising properties. And the one in the Real Estate Council of Ontario, which we're most familiar with here, says that a registrant shall not include anything in an advertisement that could reasonably be used, and the key is identify the property. Specific real estate, unless the owner has consented in writing. So if you have an exclusive property, you must not disclose the address. If you don't disclose the address and you just say $1 million home, Scarborough, double car garage, ground level family room, overlooking ravine lot. Have I given the address?
No.
No, you don't know which one it is. That is okay to network that kind of information. This is an information listing service. It's not a multiple listing service. It's an information listing service for information. You have hundreds of guidelines, legal ramifications and responsibilities on how you represent yourself when you represent a home. This is another one. You must not advertise a property and give an address or identify a property unless you have the consent of the owner in writing. But if you don't identify the property, if you don't give an address, then you can network that information. I happen to know about a home that's for sale. It's down my street. It's a FSBO. And if you like it, I can make arrangements for you to see it. But I have to put an agreement in place first. So when somebody calls you on one of these property, what's the first question they're going to ask you?
What's the address?
What's the address? And what do you say? Well,
123 Main Street.
what you can say is something like this. When somebody calls you and they ask you for the address, you make a statement that in this particular case, we have to put an agreement in place first. But if it's okay with you, I can show it to you on Saturday. You come to my office and I will make arrangements for you to see it. And what do you do on the Friday before the day of your showing?
You get the listing signed.
You go get yourself a 48-hour exclusive listing signed. Interesting, isn't it? So what this does, it gives you opportunities to make money that you never had before. Can I get some feedback from somebody? How do you like these concepts on ideas? Go ahead, question.
Okay, so we are saying we are going on Friday to, but can we have the agreement from, like, starting from Saturday, then it goes?
Sure. And what you do is you talk to your broker about getting a 48-hour exclusive listing agreement. You should have exclusive agreements right in your briefcases, and I'm sure they'll even do a seminar here for you on how to handle exclusive agreements. And if you can't get that exclusive agreement from the owner, who can you get the agreement from?
Buyer.
From the buyer. You have buyer brokers agreements in the office? Yes, you do. And you might even cover that with these people. Buyer brokers agreement. You should cover buyer brokers agreement and say, listen, to a buyer, I'm having trouble getting paid by the owner.
But you have to do it the same way, $48 with the BRA as well.
You can work your own
The buyer
agreement.
doesn't want, they're not willing to sign it longer.
Well, that's fine. You can even have it for one property for one day.
Right.
Any property I show you on Saturday, and I only got one property to show you, you agree to pay me a commission. If you don't like it, you don't have to buy it. But if you like it, hope you don't mind.
Yeah.
What's the difference if you buy the property for $1 million and the owner pays me $50,000, or if you buy it for $950 and you pay me $50,000? I know what the buyer's going to say. I only want to give you $10,000. You make your own deal. That's what I'm getting at. The point is, you must control the situation before giving the address. If you give the address away, you have lost because people can go direct and you won't get paid. And I'm going to give you some examples of that right now. Now, here's another one. When somebody calls coming for sale, remember, all of you have a property coming for sale in the next 1, 2, 3 months. Most of you put up your hands. So if you put coming for sale, give me an example. Somebody's got a property coming for sale. Anybody in the room? Anybody?
Brampton,
Okay, right here.
Sandalwood and.
It doesn't, I don't want the exact address. I just want the
No,
type
no,
of
they call it
property.
intersection.
That's the first thing he volunteered.
So I give you the intersection.
He's given an intersection.
That's okay.
What's
I-
nice, right? Have a nice guy. What's the address?
123 Main Street.
One- 120.
Cardinal rule, no address.
Okay, how much is it? What kind of property?
It's 499 condo, freehold, 3-story townhouse.
Okay, 3-story townhouse coming for sale. When you don't have it listed, you should say approximately $499 because when you go there, he might want $550 or $529 or something more, right? Because you really don't know, right? Okay, so you put approximately coming for sale. That's it. Somebody calls you. They say, if you don't mind, I'd like to drive by with my family first, and if I like it, I'll call you back. What do you say?
So the thing is, we have to meet first. In this particular case, we have to sign some agreements because it's not in the market.
Okay, that's another way to do it. You can absolutely do it that way. You can
Like we
also
are signing,
say,
right?
you can also say that this property is coming for sale and we have to put an agreement in place first. I should be getting listing agreement signed in 2 weeks. In the meantime, I can put your name on a list.
Okay.
And then I'll call you back the moment I get it signed. And if you're still looking for a property, you can be one of the first people through the property. How does that sound?
If you don't have agent.
You can do the same with agents. You do the same with them. Give them a chance to look. If you're working the best for your owner, you're going to want to do that. Am I right or wrong?
Right.
Okay, so you do the same thing. Okay, so meantime, if you have no listings right now, you now all of a sudden have something that's coming for sale. That's powerful. That's information that can make you money. I'm calling it the gold on the internet. How much is an ounce of gold?
Around 1,400 soon.
It's around 13, 1,400 right now?
Yeah, 13.
Okay, I'm calling it the gold on the internet. So if you make $10,000, that's like about 8 or 9 ounces of gold. I'm calling it the gold on the internet. I mean, you ever watch that program, the Yukon, where they go digging for gold way up in the Yukon? And they're slugging and they got shovels and backhoes and they're covered in mud and the water is gushing and the pipes are bursting and everything. They're trying to make money. This is the gold that is on the internet, what I'm showing you. It's the same thing. And it's nice. We're dressed in shirts. We can do it on the internet by saying a few words. The heaviest thing we have to do is carry a briefcase and a pencil. Okay? But it's a lot of knowledge, a lot of work and time and effort that you took to get your license to be in real estate. Only you are allowed to do this, licensed real estate brokers. People that don't have a license are not allowed to trade in information. You're allowed to trade in real estate. Let's move on. Let's give you an example.
Here you have a question.
Yes, sir. Question.
For exclusive listing.
Yes,
You
sir.
should have the holdover period for a longer time then?
You can do things like that. In other words, if you show the property on the Saturday, you had a 48-hour exclusive listing, you showed it on Saturday, what's your normal carryover provision for a Toronto Real Estate Board MLS listing? What's your carryover provision?
90 days.
90 days. You can do 90 days.
180?
If you do 180 days, I've had lawyers speak in meetings that if you get in a separate agreement, you can get it extended if they agree to it. And a good example was that I'll never forget, I showed a property one time for lease, and we had a carryover agreement we extended for 1 year. It was 2 years later that they went into that property. So those kind of things can happen in commercial real estate.
Yeah.
In residential, it's moving fast. Maybe you don't have to worry as much, right? But if it's going to be a serious change to a listing agreement, you've got to get a special clause, is what the lawyer said, to make sure that person knew. Otherwise, the person goes to court and says, well, I thought it was a regular TREB agreement, 90 days. And if you put in 1 year, just snuck it in there, that's not good. Make sure you point it out, okay, to be, according to this one lawyer, some advice. Now, we don't give legal advice. We always say check with your lawyer, check with your brokers, your broker of record. Everything here should go through your brokers of record so they all know what's going on here. Okay, let's move on. Mississauga restaurant, $350,000 making money. Does that give that restaurant away?
No.
Can you tell where it is? No. What if I said that Mississauga restaurant was at the corner of Dundas and Huron, Ontario? Am I giving, how many think I'm giving it away?
Yes.
I got 1, 2. How many don't think I'm giving it away? How many don't think I'm giving it away? How many don't know? How many don't know? Okay, so we have a little bit of each.
Raise their hands because you're tired.
I'm letting you know, if you say this is at the corner of Huron, Ontario and Dundas Street, how many restaurants might there be on that corner?
Okay.
3 or 4? Okay, let's say there's 3. How long would it take for you to go to each restaurant and find out which one it is for sale?
5 minutes.
Okay, less than 30 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Now, if the commission is 10%, because on businesses, in a lot of cases, the commission is 10% on $350,000, that is $35,000. That's $35,000. That's enough to put kids through school, buy a new car, go on a nice holiday. And so just by putting that corner in, you have given it away. I'm suggesting that you got to treat your information just like money in a bank. And if you give a little tip on how people can go direct, then people can actually just take their money right out of the bank, so to speak. So you have to be careful. So you leave it like Mississauga restaurant, 350 making money. Somebody calls you. They say, if you don't mind, I'd like to go through the property or drive by, and if I like it, I'll call you back. What do you say?
Why not we meet first?
Okay, you can meet first, or let them know you have to put an agreement in place first. You can show it to them on Saturday if you can put the agreement in place. And then on Friday, what do? You go get yourself a exclusive 48-hour exclusive listing to show the property. Okay? And then you go show it. All right, next one. Toronto Triplex, $750,000 positive cash flow. Does that give it away?
No.
If I said it's at the corner of Bloor and Ossington next to the Pizza. I'm giving it away. Now, I'm making it simple on purpose because I'm leading you into a tougher question coming up. Here we go. All right, so most owners will give you permission to advertise it this way. We're getting people who never approached physicals before. They're going, the real estate people are talking to the physicals, and the physicals are all saying, yes, yes, yes. Yes, you can advertise my property. Yes, I'll sign a 48-hour, but you got to have a buyer. And yes, I give you permission to go ahead and advertise it. Yes, yes, yes. Isn't that great? A lot of people don't go after physicals because they're getting no, no, no. This is yes, yes, yes. Watch this. If I say I have an Esso gas station in Lindsay, Ontario, am I giving it away? How many people say yes?
Yes.
How many people say no?
No.
And how many people don't know? Okay? The answer is actually yes. And the reason is there's only one Esso gas station in Lindsay.
Okay, that's fine.
You got to think. This is making you think. This is a workshop for brokers and realtors. Now, who else benefits from this? I don't know, but I know this is for you guys and ladies. So how would you advertise that? Well, you might just say branded gas station 1 hour to Toronto.
Or you can put Lindsay as long as you don't put Esso.
You could
say
say,
I figured there was at least 10 of them there.
You can
There's
put
only one gas station.
There's only one.
No, say cities. Grab it, say city or
Hey,
Esso is a brand name, we can be
Like
you
don't put
you have to
it.
say-
You know what I like? It's stimulating your thinking of how to work the information. That's the most important thing that we have accomplished today. We stimulated your thinking how to work with information. You're going to be a very special group here. I'm not kidding. You work information, you can be doing deals, and the rest of the company will eventually learn what they're doing to make money. All you got to do is make some deals. Pull in this real $40,000 check here and $30,000 check here from information that was not on the Toronto Real Estate Board. So how would you do it? You could say branded gas station, Lindsay, or you could say branded gas station 1 hour to Toronto. Okay? That's another way you could do it. How about the next one? Brantford, $30 million shopping center. How many people think we're giving it away? How many don't? How many do not know?
Only one.
There you'd be giving it away.
There's
You'd be giving it
only one
away. Yeah, I was
shopping
gonna
center.
say.
You got it.
30 million, yeah.
Okay.
The only one in town.
So how would you do that? You would simply say $30 million shopping center may be Ontario. That's it. Now, I'm on the phone, as you know, there's people calling me from all over the world. And we have people dealing right up to billions of dollars. I am not kidding. Okay? How do you do that? We made a special place on ICI World where we can have the word confidential for the location and confidential for type. That's important. Because if I said I had a certain type of property for $50 million in Canada, everybody would know which one it is. There's certain things that will trigger it and give it away. So we have, sometimes it's the price. Just have to say, $10 million, shopping center, Ontario, that's it. And if you want to use confidential, when it gets into $50 to $100 million, up to $2 and $10 billion, you do confidential. Now the beauty of this is that you as a salesperson are providing confidentiality for the people who want that confidentiality. There's a lot of people don't want to post all this stuff out on the marketplace. If a shopping center is for sale, the people that are tenants, they're going to start to get worried. If it's a restaurant for sale, the bartender and the waiters and waitresses, they're going, oh my God, the place is being sold. I don't think they'll hire me. And there's all kinds of issues that go on that you can open up a can of worms that are a problem. So confidentiality is a way to also market real estate, and you will have this capability after today. How about this one? Peterborough Retail Plaza, $500,000. Does that give it away? Anybody?
No.
How many thinks it does not give it away? How many don't know? I don't think that'll give it away because it's a small plaza and there's lots of plazas in Peterborough.
Right.
Okay, so there's so many of them that you're probably okay with that. Agreed? Okay, let's move on. All right, mobile websites. We've actually been showing websites already here today, but the websites, if anybody needs or could use a website, the beauty of these websites is that they are mobilized. And the beauty of a mobile website is you should be getting every single one of your customers to put your website on their phone. And when it comes up, it should come up like this, really kind of nice, Royal Lepage, beautiful pictures and stuff like that. People click up here, they can search properties, Mississauga, Brampton, Toronto, GTA homes, residential, for instance. And you're going to see how nicely the information comes up with beautiful photos. People can search. People can subscribe right on this website to receive information. People click on it. The nice thing about it is your information is here. If people see these kinds of properties, they can click on this. They can turn it sideways too. They can see beautiful colored photos coming up on the screen. Let's see if we can make it a little bigger. And bingo, you can see all these gorgeous photos coming up. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
Okay, would you like to have a website that brings all this kind of information up on your screen? And we're suggesting it could be an additional website. Yeah. And then what you have, it's just $16. It's $199 for the whole year. And then you can learn from all the website companies, from us and from others, how to promote your website. So bringing that up on your screen is absolutely important to try to get every single one of your customers, you all have a sphere of influence. When you go to a wedding, how many people at the wedding that you go to? The last wedding you went to, how many people attended?
300.
300? How many?
Yeah, somewhere like 250.
250?
200, 500.
500, so 200, right up to 700 I bet. So all of those people that go to that wedding, it should be an eventual goal of yours to get every single one of them to have your real estate website on their phone. So when they want to search real estate, they're searching your website. Wouldn't you like that? You're going to be one of the first ones to do it because now you know that you can be getting it from your own sphere of influence, getting them to put it on your phone. And you show them how to do it. You know the way we were walking around helping you put ICI World? You get them to go to your website, and then when you do it, when the website comes up on your website, let me just show you one little thing that you should be doing here. When your website comes up, and let's pretend this is your website, okay? And people can search the MLS from it. Up at the top, there's this is an Android. The iPhones are a little bit different. You click on the 3 little buttons up there, and one of the choices, add to home screen. You get every one of your customers to add your website to their home screen. So in other words, if this is the home screen, people just simply click on it and then or click right on their website and it comes right up with one button. You want to get this set up for every one of your customers to have it come up with one button. Got it? Any questions on this?
And
Yes, sir.
it shows property all over.
All over. We've got the world.
Real time, like for example.
Real time. Absolutely.
For example, if we are sitting in Toronto Real Estate Board.
Yep.
And we want to see a property in Windsor, so we don't have 100% access to Windsor. We can see only few properties on MLS. Very few. But here, we can see all the properties of Windsor.
Is it gone dead?
No, 2 hours.
In regards to.
Oh, that's 2 hours. Okay.
The what listings that are on the ICI world.
Yeah, not for the website, I'm talking about the website.
All right, I'm going to just finish off now. There's our pledge. You'll see it online. And I'd like to hand these out right now and just show you the, take about a I don't need 7 minutes for this, but just a 5-minute little commercial on ICI World. Let me show you what's going on. Okay. You can just read through there. Our normal to join ICI World is $319 for 1 year. And anybody not get one? Right here? Oh, okay. All right. Everyone got one? Okay. Normal is $319 for 1 year, but we have a special today. If you notice down at the bottom, it's $319 for 1 year. By the way, the third button on the right, the third bullet on the right, it says websites are free for 1 month if you want it. You don't have to. We can just give you the links. If you join ICI World, you get the links. Normally, how much is it per year?
$319 plus tax.
$319, that's correct. And the special today, do you see it?
$240.
$240. Okay, so it's $240 to join for 1 year, and the first person that joins gets a 3-month bonus. Is there anyone interested in joining?
We already member.
I know about the members, but I'm talking about non-members. Do we have any non-members?
Yeah.
$240? Okay, so you're going to get 3-month bonus.
Go on.
You're also interested?
Yes.
You're going to get 4-month bonus.
You're not getting
So.
But I got some good news.
If I go now, then 12 months.
No, I'm waiting patience. Second get more of it.
Yeah, then second get more.
I got good news for him. He also gets 4 months bonus. Okay, is there anyone else interested? Okay,
I was waiting for 12.
you're going to get 5 months bonus. And you're going to get 5 months, and you're going to get 5 months bonus, okay? Is there anyone else? Okay, so we're giving 3 people here 5 months bonus for today, okay? Now, for the members that are already members, we have a special sponsorship program. In other words, if you're already a member, the renewals for everyone, 100% of our people are $319 per year. However, if you recommend someone to join, then your membership is reduced to $240 on the renewal. All you have to do is refer somebody, sponsor somebody to the service. Now, the nice thing about the sponsorship is if you sponsor someone, the new person that joins can join for $240 just by mentioning your name. You will get an email the same day that they join so that you know that your renewal will be $240. The other nice thing, too, is if you get anybody more than one, some people say, well, Gary, what happens if I get you 3 more? We add 3 months onto your membership for each one. So theoretically, if you got 4 people times 3 months, you actually get a year free. So that's how the sponsorship program works. Now, anyone, that completes our session for today. And does anybody have any questions? I'm going to stay here for as long as you wish. And for existing members, we have a special tune-up. How many people here are existing members? Okay, I have a special tune-up that we would like to book one-on-one with you, one-on-one. We do this at convenience of your time, in your home or business office, wherever it is. And it's one-on-one support. We start as early as 7 a.m. in the morning. So before 9 a.m., we make a 30-minute appointment. If you have a cup of coffee, by the time you're finished, we're done. You're going to know exactly what you should or could have been doing. And the same thing with everyone here. We're going to make sure that you're taking advantage of things. And that's part of our pledge. You measure what you're doing every 90 days. If you're not doing a deal or you're not generating leads every 90 days, you should be calling us. Don't make it like a car. You have a flat tire, you don't abandon the car. You get it fixed. The same thing with information services. There's 3.5 billion people out here. We know this stuff works, but there's some minimum things that you got to be doing. Okay? Get the links on your website working. Anybody that hasn't made money, they haven't had the links on their website. They weren't asking the 3 questions, okay, of people to get that information out here. And you do those things, you're going to be doing. Thank you so much for today, for coming to speak to you. I appreciated the opportunity, and look forward to coming back again in the future. Okay.
So when are you going to time? You said.
I'm going to book a time. I'm going to book a time right now.
And
The people, the people who are joining today, if you want to.
If you had some questions as far as what you'd like to see, other things, that maybe it's, you know. in
Yeah,
terms
that's
of-
right.
The people that are joining today, if you can come up to the front here for a moment.
Yeah, because of.
Okay.
Remember, I wanted to kind of see.
Okay, who are the people that are joining today?
From a technology.
I need a business card. Who's got a business card?
And make it so much easier. So certain
Okay.
other things you like to see
Can
on
you
the site
staple
that
your
can make it
business
more
card?
user-friendly.
If you have a business
Those are
card,
kind of the
staple it to here.
Send me the.
Are you joining today as well,
Yeah,
Ignatius?
yeah.
Okay, hold
So
on one
let
second.
me know. I want to talk to you.
We're gonna have a one-on-one appointment, as long as you need. I just need your credit card number.
Because I have a lot of.
I just need your credit card number on there. And you don't have to just staple your business card and a credit card number. That's all we need. I have a question. Like, because I joined today.
Yes.
The only problem.
What does include? It
It
includes all of this, unlimited ads all year long, personal one-on-one assistance. And then the website is free for 1 month if you want the website.
Okay.
Do you already have a website?
I do, but it's like basic
So you can have the widgets on that website, but if you want a full-fledged website with 3 major networks on it,
Yeah.
it's free for 1 month, and then you'll see here,
So
it says
if-
$199 per year.
Okay. The access
That's for
then is
hosting
really
separate.
beneficial.
Oh, absolutely.
And we're gonna totally design
But
the
you
website
still want to
for you.
have, you still want to have
Hosting
access
means
to
it
either,
would be different
like,
server?
even if you don't want to go with
What I
a
have?
full website,
It's
you
gonna
should
be
have
a different website, and you're gonna have
Because
another
they-
domain
everything
name
is-
for
you
this
need to
website.
have everything so
Oh, it
it's
would be different
it's
domain name.
basically
I'm
readily available,
recommending you have a
especially
different
for your
domain name.
clients. You're driving with them
I'm
in the car
suggesting
or
you
whatever,
keep
you
all
want
of
to
the
be able to go
websites.
on there and say, like,
Because I
they'll
think
go
we
on
can
here.
help you with
Now,
all
the
of the
ICI you
websites.
can use for your
No,
own
but I mean,
information, but you can also
the website
use.
would
for
have-
If you don't wanna
clients,
keep
so
it, you don't have to keep it.
That's,
So can I not have this?
You can
thing?
use that domain
Again,
name
that's
with
why
this
I
new
mean,
website, yes.
I don't know, maybe
Yes,
That's
you
what I
can.
meant. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
I want to
I've been in
keep
the
domain
real
name
estate
because it's
world,
out there.
You can keep your
developer,
domain
real
name
estate
and you can put it on the new
So
website.
where I,
In
why
the
I
5 months,
feel
what you were saying,
technology,
what does
why I
that
feel
entail?
technology
What do
is
you
so
mean?
powerful.
You said
is
5 months
because
free.
Those are the tools. Those are the tools that we need.
You're gonna have
to operate, and that's the
17,
reason why, that's why
you're gonna have 1 year
I
and
want to
7
partner
months
up
of
with Gary
service.
there because I feel like I can bring so
For
much
the
more
membership.
For the
technology.
I'm gonna write that right on there right now for
Not
you.
to make your life easier.
The website is totally separate, $199 per year.
President died.
Okay, and I'm gonna give receipts to people now too.
Oh, thank you very much.
Can you mean my?
Okay, this is you, Ignatius?
Yeah.
Okay, did you wanna write your credit card number there? Or do
Can
you
I
have
meet with
questions?
you and then write,
Oh, wow.
I want to meet with you and know more. about
Okay,
it.
so
I
here's
only came
what you do. You write your credit
Okay,
card number
we
down here,
got,
but leave off the last four numbers. Okay, and then I'll do it that way.
Sorry, did you want pizza, a slice of pizza
Sure,
or something? Okay.
sure.
I'm gonna grab it quick, man.
Oh, is that- why is it going?
Where's? Somebody left a key.
Okay,
What? What key? Oh, the key to real estate, man. Right there.
what was his first name again?
Huh?
What's his first name?
Justin D'Souza.
Justin, yeah.
Or you want veggie or is it everything okay?